Peace, peace, peace. My bad, my bad. I don't know what's going on. We having some technical difficulties over here. I don't know what's going on. We having some technical difficulties. Is it me or did any commercials come on when y'all came in here? Did any commercials play? I don't see no commercials playing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know. Well, anyway, salute to the members. What's going on? What's going on? Lazy days in the building. Benito, NY Nikki. Street Queen. What's going on? E Money in the building. Now this the serious page. You can call me KT. Holla. Bees over here. For all the people who don't know, this is a serious page. No foolishness. Leave your drama at the door. Callie, chilling. Salute. Hold on real quick. All right. It looked like my commercials is back on. I don't know what that was. Kenzo, salute. Now this topic right here, I don't know nothing about this, right? Um. Oh no, yeah, I do that all the time, Street Queen. Don't worry about it. I do that all the time. I have to remind people, you know, it's just the way things go. It's just the way things go. If you don't put up disclaimers and stuff like that, people act like, they didn't know. So just to be safe. Just to be safe. But yeah, man, this topic right here, I know nothing about. Somebody came in my chat yesterday on the other page and they said something about some Manhattan shooter or something like that. And they was like, oh man, I think they was saying thank goodness the Manhattan shooter was white or something like that. But when I was looking it up and all that, I don't know. Kind of look that dude don't look white. Maybe that's the wrong dude. What is that the wrong dude or because now I'm lost. I know nothing about this. Oh, he's a suspect. Okay, suspected. My bad. Suspected. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I seen this picture up there. Now the picture with the surveillance picture, it could look like that, but then they showing a picture of somebody else here. I don't know who this is, but they saying this is the same guy that's in the picture right here, the suspect. They saying, yes, this young man in the middle is the same as the suspect in the picture. Oh, that's him? Okay, Nikki. Okay, Nikki knows something about this. Oh, okay. So that's what they were saying on the news. All right, okay. So this is the real suspect. Yeah, I just want to clarify. That's high school picture. Oh, he's 30 now. Okay. So anybody know what that's about? Anybody know what this whole thing is about? I don't even know what happened, to tell you the truth. I did not look at the news clipping. Yeah, if anybody know anything, like matter of fact, if anybody want to hit the link, definitely drop the link. That's crazy. I didn't even hear about this, to tell you the truth. Oh, let me drop the members only. Hey, salute to all the members. If you want to join the members only, hold on. Let me drop the link. 1 second. The chat, trooper, salute. Oh, you heard about this, Callie? Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I don't know why. What's the motive? Oh, we got a panelist. Kenzo, salute. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
Ain't nothing much.
Yeah. I was just watching a little bit about this not long before you came on. So
Yeah, so update me on it. I don't know nothing about this, to tell you the truth.
got you.
All
right, so I'll just give you the basics, as if you don't. For everybody in the chat as well, this is yesterday. This is about 4 p.m. I want to say. I heard it was later. Don't quote me on the time of day. I just know it was closer to end of day. The gentleman you see on the screen to the far right, that is a picture taken. That's Park Avenue, Manhattan. This is a building with multiple companies inside, including BlackRock Group and supposedly NFL headquarters. What they're saying is this young man has CTE, and he was taking. This is now. I'll get back to that point in a second. So, pardon me. He goes in right away, shoots a security guard and off-duty NYPD officer. They said he got 5 people total, I believe, including himself. He's not taken into custody. He, quote, self-delete, so to speak. They find a note. The note says he was mad at the NFL for their work with CTE. If you guys don't know, CTE is a mental, I guess you would call it a disease. It's from blunt force trauma. Many NFL players have it. In his note, he mentions Junior Seau. Junior Seau was a Pro Bowl linebacker who took his own life, but left in his note that he wanted his brain to be left to science and things of that. So the young man mentions these things in his note. And yeah, I think that pretty much like the gist of it. I'm trying to think if there was
Also,
anything else.
he's no longer with us. He
Yeah,
He's no
yeah, no,
longer
he
with us. What
yeah, he took himself. Yeah.
checked out? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of it
that's that.
seemed,
Wow.
I don't know.
Mixed
Yeah, a lot of
school,
it seemed weird to
mixed.
me.
Now I heard about this what you call it,
CTE.
CTE.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that vaguely.
I mean,
But
everyone knows the S word you can't say on YouTube. They call it the S word disease because from the blunt force
mm,
trauma that it like triggers an aggression in people. Like there's a few players who were living with it. It's well documented, NFL films, things of that nature, and you could see it. Like there's just players who 1 minute as timid or as calm as you and I are right now, and the smallest thing, nothing, it could just be a personal trigger. They're raging. Again, Junior Seau was this is a Hall of Fame linebacker right here. We're talking like this man is Hall of Fame and took his own life in his 50s, which people were
mm.
already a little, you don't really see it as much with older, different points of life, not as much that far. He's after his career and he's getting into TV and you would think he's on the up and up, but the CTE causes depression, things of that nature. It could get way worse.
So this was kind of like his twisted way of like bringing awareness to this or something.
I think they were saying that he was mad basically at the NFL, but out of the 5 people, I haven't heard anyone reported as NFL. I mean, they may have been, but it's like they were only really reporting about the police officer and this woman from a Black something group, which is like a financial broker. I mean,
Mm.
that's people are saying, how can we avoid something like this happening? And I don't know how you can do that because New York is one of the heavily, they don't allow guns for anything. It's heavily surveillance. So it's how do you fix a situation like it? It's kind of you really can't.
Well, I guess they trying to say that they need to make it safer when they playing, you know,
I would
football or
I would
something.
agree there for sure for changes to the sport, and I think they have made changes. I mean, helmets are so padded now. If you look into the technology behind the football helmet, they've put a lot of science behind that lately. Like because they obviously you don't want to damage your product, the people in your product. You want them around for a long time.
Is there any benefits like for people who get this?
Um, I believe
Like,
the NFL has made gains in that. I can't be 100%, but I do think they've put something to the side for people like that are going through that medically. As I said, there's a few players that have it really bad. They live with it every day with their families. And I mean, it's not just in sports, right? Like Travis Barker, he's a famous drummer. He was famously in a plane crash. He had it after that. Again, they call it the S word disease, where it's like your brain's playing tricks on you. It's a lot. There's a lot of
he's talking about like as far as football because he didn't make it in the NFL, right? So
no,
he
no,
must have
no, he
got
didn't.
he got this in high school.
Yeah, that picture in the middle there is his high school picture. They have a more recent one. He was arrested in, I believe it was Arizona or New Mexico, not long ago. So they have closer to an updated picture. I would say it's probably not too close because in the picture his head's shaved, and I'm not a photo expert, but the gentleman in the picture to your far right looks to have a little bit of length to his hair.
Yeah, but I'm asking, did he get CTE is called?
He says he had in his letter he's saying he had it.
So
I
he's
haven't
saying
really
he got
seen
it
the
from
news
high school
denying it.
football, or he's saying he
Yeah,
got it
just
from
from
high school
years
football.
of playing football. Yeah, just the years he played.
So
Because
is
I
it
mean, as
any
most
other
people know,
cases of
I'm
this
sorry, what?
like people getting? Is there any other cases of people getting CTE from playing football that's not in the NFL? Like,
I believe so. Because I mean, like, a lot of folks I knew growing up, even personally, they might not make it to the NFL, but that doesn't stop the quote dream. You'll see people play arena football, and then they have triple A, double A, these different amateur levels. So it's like, I don't think
Right.
people lose it. Even though he didn't make the NFL, he could have still been playing somewhere. You know, you still probably go to college. Then you might play in the, they call them beer leagues. It's like you work a 9 to 5, and then on the weekends, you and your buddies get together to play the sport. So it's still possible. I mean, there's just, it's from, head to head collisions.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out what made him correlate, the NFL and doing that to, him having CTE and stuff like
Well, that's
that.
what they
Why is
say.
he blaming?
He's feeling their look into it, their science behind it, so to speak, wasn't enough. He feels like they didn't do enough, or for him, for Junior Seau, for these other players. The rationale is off to me. I don't know if that angers there. I mean, and of course, this is someone that made a
Have that
crazy decision. So I wouldn't
right.
expect the rationale.
And if he does have the CTE, he's possibly not thinking.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, why would you go to NFL headquarters at the end of the day? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like already in the mind of him, it's like you're already thinking erratically. I mean, if
Right.
your problems with these, why are you just going to go get random people? You don't have like a specific target. There's so many questions you have, and then again, the media playing the fence, giving misinformation. As you said, you heard it was a white man. It was still being reported that this morning. And I get it, most commonly these situations statistically are white men, but don't lie to her. Don't toss our eyes are lying either. If I were to guess, this again, my only opinion, he looked maybe of Black and Asian descent, possibly mixed. But that's, I'm like, I don't
Right.
necessarily see and that's in the updated picture. That high school picture, I would say he just looks black. Again, this is no expertise or anything. This is just what I'm seeing and guessing. But I mean, the video it's jolting to say the least. I mean, you see that picture you have right there. That is just how he's strolling across this. You're going into a skyscraper in downtown New York, so they have that little courtyard area before you get to the building. He's just strolling along. This assault
So
rifle in his hand.
Was there any victims who lost their lives or?
Yeah, I believe I heard 5. It could be more by now.
Well,
6, including himself. But yeah, a off-duty NYPD who was doing security. And I heard of one other woman who was like a financial broker. Different. She wasn't part of the NFL.
Well, rest in peace to them. Condolences to their family. That's a tragedy. I didn't even hear about this, man. That's crazy.
It's great. There's so much going on right now. There was something in Reno, Las Vegas as well. A few days ago, there was a guy in Walmart, attacked 11 people randomly. And he was saying, they told me to do it. Thank God. In Michigan is a open carry state. So a ex-Marine who was going to Walmart on his own seen it and stopped the guy before it could have been even worse.
It wasn't something about they said somebody shutting down like the mental facilities or something. Uncle Ralph, salute.
Well, they were saying Trump was saying he wanted to bring them back.
But they did shut them down, right?
But they want to stop some of these hospitals and bring back actual quote asylums, things like that. They stopped those, I think, in the 90s, I believe it was. It was like mass, these mass psych hospitals where a lot of abuse had happened and things like that. They kind of just stopped it. But we've seen in the last, I'd say, 40 years, that hasn't really been beneficial. The prisons are, full with people who are having mental. They're not criminals. They're someone having mental episodes. We see this in regular hospitals. You go to the hospital because you have the flu and they have someone strapped down to the bed next to you because they're having an episode. Is the hospital equipped for that? Are jails equipped for that? Not really. But I do get why they stopped asylums. There was a lot of abuse and no one needs that. These people need help as it is.
Right, but what did they do? What did they do to substitute for that? Like, they just let them loose in the streets?
A lot of it is loose on the street. You see it in your major cities with the homeless, right? Or prisons. You see it when you go to prison. You're in prison. It's like, what's he in here for? Oh, arson. Oh, what did he burn down? His house, his family. You're like, wait, this guy might be a little, you know. So it's like a lot of those that were in the 50s and the 40s where you would have went to a mental hospital. They weren't doing that anymore. It was you would be put in jail or just on the streets. This is why people, when like the summer of the Black Lives Matter protest, people were saying, like, let's pull back on some of the police and how much money we're giving them, and let's get caseworkers in there because they're feeling like that's who should be dealing with anyone in a mental incident, and even just to de-escalate, commonly de-escalate.
Right. But King Craigo, salute.
There's a ton going on everywhere. Cincinnati's going through some stuff right now. They had a huge fight last weekend, racial type thing, it seems, and the news and even the police chief. The police chief, in her interview, I felt like she was yelling at me. I wasn't even there. She was very aggressive in her interview, and I'm like, I get being upset about your city, but it wasn't how it was coming across. It felt like it was everyone else's fault but hers.
Right.
So it's very chaotic. Seems to be every day.
Gio, salute. Man, it's a lot of little things that's happening and we not paying attention to that could become, like, if all combined together, you know what I'm saying, could be a real problem.
That's what it is. We get divided by these stories right away.
Right.
And, we're not asking the important questions stop getting asked once we start worrying about the rest of what's going on. Everyone was talking about a list last week. I don't hear anyone talking about it this week. Why? Because there's so much going on. Right. Like I said, everyone's reporting on this case you have up here now in New York City. And before the reporting's even done, there's something happening in Reno, Las Vegas. So it's like, all right, one thing at a time, guys.
But it's all connected, in the chat, man.
If any info you guys heard was different from what I'm saying, please put it out there. I always enjoy standing to be corrected. I want the right information.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all connected, man. Like, it's all connected, brother.
It is.
Everything is not.
I'll tell you, man.
The people who's in charge, hold on. The people who's in charge of, running the country and running things, I think they have issues, and it's trickling down,
I agree. Like I said, it may sound conspiracy theorist of me, but like I said, it feels like, look at this, look at this, look at that. So we're not looking at, your house is on fire, but the guy with the matches in his hands, like, hey, look over at that. Look at that ball. Look at that dog. Look at that bird. They're just trying to distract you, it feels like. Like I said, when I'm hearing this case, it just feels so weird to me in so many ways. How is anybody walking through Park Avenue? This isn't just like downtown Manhattan and they're on a ducky block. This man is on Park Avenue in downtown Manhattan walking with an assault rifle, and people are just sitting around. You see it on the footage. There's people 10, 15 feet away. I mean, they're behind a small wall, but I felt like there was no urgency in their movements.
Didn't that other incident take place with the health care dude? Wasn't that in New York?
Yep. New York City.
Yeah, right.
Downtown Manhattan. Yep.
They about to drop the hammer. One thing about New York is a police state, man. Yep. They about to drop the hammer on New York, especially.
And they're very reactionary. New York's downtown? Very reactionary with their police. Yep. Manhattan's going to be flooded with police.
Right. Because it was another incident. I think it was a couple incidents that happened downtown.
Yep.
Shooting incidents. Yeah,
there's so much, man. I was just going here on YouTube. I just go to the news folder. It's music news. I just go through news, check top news, national news, and it's like every story. It's all over the country, but there's like, a husband and wife where someone took out a husband and wife in a national park, and they got the video and the suspect, and it's like, what is happening right now? Like, people are just being so, like I said, being so blatant about it. This guy walking across Manhattan not like he had a dozen roses in his hand. You see the guy in Walmart just walks in and just picks 11 random people. He didn't have a gripe with Walmart. He didn't have a gripe with anyone in there. It's, he said the quote voices were telling, so what can we do about that?
Yeah, that's how it is, Dylan.
If there's no record, we can't expect someone to be in a mental institute or even prison if he didn't have a record of schizophrenia. People are out there with schizophrenia and just never went to the hospital or a doctor for a diagnosis.
Yeah, that's a fact, Uncle Ralph. Yeah, New York is different, man. Like the Bronx, the Bronx is violent and make the news and all that, but they don't really care about that. You know what I'm saying? But when some people downtown, once you start getting downtown like that, oh no. No. They don't play those
$1 multi-billion-dollar company you're after there. It's just wild, man. I'm just hearing these other, like, I heard there was another one. Guy walks up to the valet. They said it jams. He fixes it and goes again and hits a few people. Guy pulling up in the valet, not even knowing what's going on. It's like, man, I just tell, if you're listening right now, just try to be more aware of your surroundings. I know a lot of us already are. I'm hyper aware when I'm in the public. You paying attention could save everyone, including your own life. So just try to be a little more aware sometimes. Some of us, we got our heads in our phone. We feel safe. Things are too random.
Right. DMW, salute. We got a new member. Welcome to the members only. Appreciate you, my brother.
Best membership on YouTube.
Yeah, but like I said, man, downtown, that's a tourist area. People need to feel safe. Like the city gonna drop the hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. I see that. I seen that the second it happened. When I heard about it, again, I spent years feeling like a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, well, they're going to be taking the guns off security guards in New York. Like, keep playing. It's going to be like, you need a code word to get your gun pretty. You're going to need a code initiated to fire a gun in New York.
They was trying to lighten up on the gun laws at one time in New York, I heard.
I remember.
But I don't know about now.
Because they were super strict. They were one of the strictest in the country. Probably the strictest. But like I said, when you see that Walmart incident.
Yeah, you know why?
That proves the point that, like, how do you stop a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun. Like, you don't tell, the bad guys are not going to listen if you say the guns are.
Yeah.
Guess what? The bad guys still have guns in the UK.
New York is so strict.
I mean, New York kind of runs the country. Washington's where the laws are made, but New York's like the heartbeat of the country.
You know why? You know why it's so strict in New York? That's a stampede, especially on those. You said what?
I said Giuliani.
Giuliani what?
He started, like, is he the one who started, like, making New York stricter, or was it before him?
Yeah, it was Giuliani.
Because that's why I feel like
he used the mafia. He used the mob. He used the mafia to get those RICO laws, and then they start hitting like other people with it. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, Giuliani is the one who really dropped the hammer on the city.
I mean, yeah, he started stop and frisk and things of that. So it's just wild. It's like, I don't know, man. Nowadays, it's like you can't. Everyone's like, well, get out of the big cities. It's the big cities. It's like, no, stuff happens outside the cities too. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's true. It's anywhere. It's just it's just the places you be. I mean, sometimes you can't help where you at.
Yeah.
But is, it's the places that you be. Sometimes you just need to, especially when you get to a certain age, you just,
Some stuff just doesn't make sense to me, man. Like I said, they're calling it the Cincinnati Brawl, right? It was older white gentlemen, younger black guys, girls get involved. It's just this whole crazy thing. But the one thing that really, really stuck out to me during the police chief's note, whatever you call that, when she's talking, she said she brings up how their bars close at 3 a.m. Here in PA, ours close at 2. But they asked her where was the task force. There should be a task force if you have a music festival, things like that. The downtown task force. She said they ended their night at 2 a.m. Why would your task force go in before your bars close? Something don't add up with
right.
that. We brought them in an hour before the bars closed.
Yeah, that's a fact, Nikki. And I don't listen, man. I mean, like you said, people gonna get guns, whether it's laws, whatever kind of laws. The criminals is always gonna have. They always gonna have guns. Man. You know what I'm saying?
You look at the UK.
Don't worry about it. Salute. Yeah, I heard you. That's what I was saying. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I tell everybody that. They're like, take the gun. I'm like, look at the UK. They taken them. Their knives, their stabbings have gone through the roof, and their quote gangsters still have them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got a real life example. You don't have to look too far. You don't have to check the stats. It's there. Look at the UK and look at that's like 300% stabbings have gone up since they banned them. Not everywhere is Australia. That's just how I got to put it. Like Australia banned them and it worked for them. That's fine. They don't really have too many, but it's also Australia's 5 cities and a bunch of desert. Like you can't even drive from city to city. If you bands, when they go there, they got to fly from city to city because it's so far.
But also you got to remember too, besides criminals, many mass shootings, happen with people, people with legal guns, these kids getting their parents guns and stuff like that. So
true.
On both sides,
hunting rifles, right?
Yeah, I see. Right.
You could buy a hunting rifle at Walmart.
Right. That's a fact.
All you need is ID. Yeah, all you need is ID, and you could go to Walmart or what is that called? Cabela's. That's here in PA. Go to Cabela's and you could buy a shotgun. They have it just sitting there for sale. You're like, this is crazy. But where I'm at, they give them out as prizes at beef and beers and giveaways and raffles. Raffle for a 380 Desert Eagle. You're like, wait, what?
What?
Yeah, they do that out here. I'm in Central PA, and they'll do that. They'll do
you don't need a license?
No. I mean, I guess they're going to want to see some form of ID, but I don't think you need a license. PA's concealed. Well, I know. Yeah, we're concealed carry. I know Philly is.
Wow.
So you're allowed to carry, but it's got to be concealed. But that guy in Michigan at Walmart, that was a black Marine, man. Old head. He was so cool, man. I watched his interview. I was like, what a good dude. Not everybody gets in stuff nowadays. He seen this guy going on a rampage and knew he could stop it. Pulled his weapon, but he didn't. He wasn't like you see some people with weapons. They're gung-ho to use it. This guy had it out. He made sure it was seen, but he would start talking to the guy. What's the matter? Why are you doing this? It's like, yo, for being a civilian, retired military, good for him, man. More people could have got hurt randomly on that. So definitely, man. Prayers to New York, Michigan, Vegas. It's everywhere.
Man, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of torn with the laws and all that. I understand on both sides because we got the right to bear arms to defend against domestic or foreign threats. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You want to be protected by your government, but history has shown us That's not always the case. You know what I'm saying?
Usually not at all. Quite the opposite.
Right.
It's just what, like I said, just if you guys get a chance to watch that on the far right, where that still comes from, try to watch that video. It's just the carelessness that he's walking. He looks so carefree walking with this thing in his hand. I'm like, whoa, what world do we live in for that kind of energy? You would have thought he was at the gun range.
Man, you know, it's so many people in New York, so many things going on, man.
I heard people already blaming the mayoral candidate, the Muslim candidate. I'm not sure of his name, but there's a candidate running for mayor of New York, and people were blaming him. It's like he's not even in office yet. Like, how's it his fault? You didn't even vote yet. People are just crazy.
Right, right, yeah. I mean,
The internet, man, it moves so fast, and a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people, like you heard, as you said, you heard that it was a white male news station. That's not misinformation on YouTube. I could show you where CNN, MSNBC, like these, they were all saying possible white male. It's like, why
yeah.
do we have?
But
Let's figure out who the guy is, and then say.
It also starts from, you know, child, like, you know, the youth, man. Like when we had like programs and stuff, you know, where we could go as youth so they could try to catch the signs of these certain things early. But it's like now, it's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's
It's
going
so
on.
true. Like I said, we go, oh my God, how did it get to this? And it's like 4 or 5 easy reasons. We've spoken on it on your shows multiple times. Like I say, I've spoken on many times. The police knew your
Right.
name when we were kids. They knew who your grandmother was. They didn't have to yell. They didn't have to lock you up, threaten you. They said, I'm telling your mom, because they knew who you were. Now there's a disconnect. We have cops from completely different areas, have no idea what it's like to live in this place. And so right away, you're going to have conflict there. That's one reason. The family has been totally destroyed for the last 50 years. There's another reason. We talk about dads not being at the house. How about nobody? Some of these kids don't have a
Right.
parent. I live with grandma. You know, I mean, kids I know that grew up with their grandparents because their parents had issues with drugs and things, homelessness.
Right. Right.
They call it, that's your mom? She looks super old. Well, it's really my grandma, but she raises me. Like, whoa. I was about 10 the first time that I had this. Like, I grew up with 2 parents, so I didn't, until I was 16 when they split. But it's like I grew up most of my life with 2 parents, so I didn't understand that at all. Like, why is your mom? Because his mom, cane, white hair. It's like, you're 10, bro. Why is your mom so old? Oh, that's my grandma. I call her mom because she raises me.
Yeah, it could be aunt, godmothers, sisters, all types of stuff, man. Like,
that's another one, right? God brother, God sister. People don't even have godfathers and godmothers anymore, let alone call someone a god cousin or a god brother. Some folks don't have godparents.
Yeah, man. Things has changed,
to your
man.
point, what do you expect these kids to do? It's like, oh, all they do is go on social media and it's all about clout. What do they have to do? We had dances, we had sports programs. Even if you weren't on a team, you could go to your playground and play. They have somebody that ran the building. You could trade in your phone. We would trade a football for a basketball, stuff like that. You had to leave something, but they would give you the ball. Then things don't exist anymore. They're tearing down every playground.
But the cold part about it is we be on here doing the same thing.
Yeah,
and I'll argue that we do it more. Yeah,
true.
We do it more.
I'm
talking about on social media acting a fool. Like these young people on here becoming millionaires. We on here acting a fool. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. And that
even
police chief out there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, even without celebrities and all in the entertainment world, is the older people who's getting into all this drama on social media. The younger people ain't really, they don't get into it as much as we do. You know what I'm saying?
It's because they put away all the real ones. All the real ones are gone. In the neighborhoods, you know, the guy you looked up to, he might be a criminal, but he did things for the neighborhood. They got rid of them guys. That's why neighborhoods
Yeah.
fell to what they fell to. There was no one in charge.
Right. Right.
You had when we were kids, we had the Nino Browns and the Frank Whites. You know what I mean? It was like these guys were they held the neighborhood together. Even the mob. Oh, they're handing out turkeys and oh, this guy lost his job. Here's a few hundred to you get back. They took care of their community. That's not there no more. It's like every man for themselves. But to your point, I got to
Yeah.
agree. The police chief in Cincinnati said, I can't keep yelling at these kids when this is how our adults act. You can't argue that point.
Right. Right.
I
So
come on
where's those
YouTube. I
people
don't
on
know
here? Like,
teenagers act, I guess.
right? Like, where's those people on social media? Those mentors and you know what I'm saying?
So true. All the examples aren't great examples, right? I mean, some of them are. They turned their life around. Most of the biggest podcasters in the hip hop sphere were ex drug dealers, turned their life around to become podcasters and the biggest in the world. And that's a good triumphant story. But what about the other side where they might not have had a huge, you know, the podcast ain't so good and they didn't turn nothing around. It's just craziness how things are
Yeah, but you
popular.
know, to get on here, salute to the people. But we've been doing this for a little while, so you know, the people who get on here and they turn their life around. Like I'm one of those type of people. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep, I get it.
to get on here and turn your life around and to act a fool and not try to, drop no jewels and give back and stuff like that, and you know, to try to follow the trend and all of that, like, it defeats the purpose. You feel what I'm saying?
So true. And we do
Because
see
you
it,
got
man. We
these
got
young
50,
people,
50-year-olds.
they looking towards the future.
Mm.
Yeah, they looking towards the future. What am I gonna do when I'm older? Like, you know, what's my example of what I'm gonna be doing? And you know, the example is what, acting a fool on social media, still trying to, fit in, just trying to act tough, and you know, all of this weird stuff we be doing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Haney,
That's so
salute.
true, bro. Like, when we were kids, there was so many different kinds of cool old heads. You had an old head who could school you. You had an old head who was chill, who still schooled you. Like, I grew up, thankfully, with my grandmother, and I would just sit there and we
Right,
watch TV, and she just break something down because, I seen this in 1940. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So it's like we don't really have that no more. The old heads are young. People are great grandmothers by the time they're 42.
right. But 42 back then, people wasn't acting like that. You know, you had some people, your parents, friends, they cutting up, they want to hang around you and all that, but we ain't really respect them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like before, back in the days when you was 30, you was an adult. You feel what I mean?
Yeah, you were full like 30, you better have your career, a home with your wife. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's 100%. By the time you were 20, you had to have it figured out back in the day. We have people out here who are 50 and have never had a job, never had a responsibility.
Yeah, I was out by 18. I was up out of there. You feel me? Like,
Yep.
so.
Shoot, I was out by 17. I was working on at a regular job. So they were like, if you're still in school, we can't hire you full time. You'd have to drop out, on paper. And I went and did that. My parents were mad at me for it. And I'd already been in and out of their houses already. So it was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Times are
school.
different, though, man.
I ain't even want to talk about it. Yeah, school.
School was weird for me, man, because up to like 8th grade, up to 5th grade, I never had an issue at all. But then when I got to 5th grade, I talked a lot. I started getting into more different, meeting more friends and different things. So I failed then, but I was still good. I was like, when I got held back 5th grade, but when I got to the other school, after I got thrown out that one, I got right back on honor roll to high school. And then I met the first love of my life, Mary Jane. And I didn't care about school. Plus, where I went was a vocational school where I had food service as my elective. So it's like, I want to work in a restaurant. What do I need world history for? So I just quit school and started working in a restaurant. Thought I knew everything. It's funny though, when I seen this topic, I was like, I wonder how long till Brother Bees is talking about this one. You there, bro? I can't hear you. Can you guys hear Bees? KT? Make sure you're hitting that like button. It's the GOAT. Okay, thanks, Unc. We grew up young. These kids want to live with their parents as long as some of them do. Thank you, Trooper. Unc, some of them do, but I want to listen, man. My kids, sometimes I get mad at how independent my kids are. I'm like, can't you stay? My daughter's only 20, man. She left at 18, like she had a reason. I'm like, we didn't even do nothing. She's like, I know, I'm 18. It's time to, do my own thing. I'm like, wow, we raised you better than I thought. Both my kids, man, they started working 14 years old, wanted to get their working papers to start working. And
Yo, my bad. Can you hear me?
yeah, there you go, brother. Got you back.
I dropped off. I don't know. I lost my.
Yeah. So I was asking the chat if they could hear you. I thought maybe it was just me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
We're just still keeping the conversation about with the youth and all. Uncle Ralph had said, how we were a lot of us were in a rush to leave. These kids want to stay home. Which, Unc, I'm a silver linings kind of guy, right? I think that's a good thing because it's like, why did we want to get out? Because our parents sucked in a way or one way or another. If our kids want to stay home, that means we did better, right? I mean, that's how I would look at
it. I mean,
but I'm saying in a way.
I mean, you can look at it that way.
That's what I'm saying. In a way, you know what I mean? It's like, I know I wanted to get out because like I said, my
Some
parents were
people,
splitting up and there was a lot of turmoil. I was kind of torn in the middle.
I mean,
even after I was working with my dad.
Personally, my mama was like, she was prepping me. You know what I'm saying?
17th birthday. You ready yet? You got 365.
You can hear me?
I hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, I was reacting to what you were saying. I said, yeah, mom's prepping you on your 17th birthday. You got one more year. Better be ready.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. You got one more year. That's how it was, man. Our parents, you either had a parent who was pushing you out or just gave you a reason to want to leave.
Yeah, that's the one right there. Like bills, I had the older I got,
Yep.
the more bills I had to contribute to. I said, you know what?
I'll do this on my own.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I get that. See, with me, it was like I said, it was rough. My parents split up. So I worked with him and lived with her. And then me and her might get into it. And I go live with him. And then we get into it. And then it's just like, all right, I'm 17. I was like, all right, I got to get something figured out here. I met Kels not long after that. And, it went from there. But I think that might be a good thing that our kids want to stick around.
Man, you said, how old was you when you met Kel?
19.
Wow.
Yep. 2002.
That might have possibly saved your life or your freedom, man.
Oh, time over time. I mean, we were together for 5 months and we had a fire. I was in a coma for like a week.
What?
Yeah. I did a live about it a few years ago. I might have to redo that. I had an ulcer burst in 2016. I was in the hospital for a week.
Wow.
Yeah, man. But no, Kel saved my life 10 times. When we first got together, I was still fucking up. Like we were criminals. I sold drugs. I stole cars. So I was still getting locked up for that kind of stuff. And then it was like the last time she had gotten pregnant with my son. And that's what was like, all right, time to go. So I kind of knew right there, like, all right, you saved my life. Because the guys who I was doing it with, their paths were a lot worse, drugs and more crime, worse crimes. And Thankfully, I stopped the stealing cars pretty young. I thought, now it's like I look back, I'm like, I would never. I don't need. You could leave $1 million in front of me, and I wouldn't take a penny. Like I think stealing is just so like lowbrow. You know what I mean? It's like I can't believe I used to do that. Just the joyride.
Wow.
We would like if we got your car and it had like real rim. We were doing neons and Cherokees. People ain't putting rims on those cars. But if we got rims and radios, we would sell that. But outside that, it was literally just a joyride. Drive it till it had no gas and leave it. But we were young and dumb. But yeah, she saved my life 10 times over, man. But yeah, our son is he'll be what, 23, 22? We were only together for a few months before she got pregnant, so
Okay, okay. I hear that.
I said to her recently, it's this coming school year will be the first year in my entire life that school has no concern of me. Like between myself going, my siblings going, or my children. Like my kids are now done. My siblings, their kids are starting school, so I'm done on all those fronts. It's like, well, I don't have to worry about what day school goes back for the first time in my entire life. I was like, that's a trip. That's a trip right there, man.
Yo, hold it down for me. I gotta switch back to this laptop, man.
Got you, brother. No problem.
Appreciate it.
All I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, cherish the days. You don't know where the time goes. I mean, even us on here, the friends we made on here. I've been here watching KT since like 2019. It don't feel like almost 6 years, 7 years. Like, where did the time go? I have no clue. My stomach was 10 years ago. Wow. I hope everybody's good. For KT, it was Tuesday. Unc was out at 17, couldn't take it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Unc. Like, Geo, Unc, appreciate that, guys. But yeah, it's I think that might be a good thing because like our generation, it was like, how quick can I get out of my house? Like, can you people were talking about emancipation when I was a kid, like getting emancipated from their parents so they could leave home and be a legal adult. I knew a kid that was a legal adult since he was 17. He had just turned like 16 going into 17. And I'm like 14. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Trooper said, live life. You only got Trooper. You ain't ever lied, bro. I changed my whole life after my stomach. The fire wasn't enough. I was still young, still felt invincible. I was only 19, 20 then. So, but my stomach, man, that was scary. My kids saw it. Kels was at the hospital with me, all that. I had to be emergency surgery. They thought I was dying type stuff. So after that, man, it was like, all right, I got to look at life differently here, man. This is too short. So I got a little more passive. I didn't, I wouldn't jump to fight as quickly. I wouldn't jump to scream and yell as quickly. Some things are beneficial, but others aren't. Still a work in progress. Gio said facts. Several high school friends were emancipated, had their own apartments. Yeah, that's I had a few friends like maybe they had abusive backgrounds or their parents had addiction problems, things of that nature. They would get emancipated at 16, 17. And that's why I was like, how do you even do that? And the friend told me, like, oh, I went to court and I proved my parents couldn't take care of me at all. One lived with my grandmother, the other was homeless. He's like, and I proved, I have a job making $1,000 a week at 16. Like, and that was it. Signed him off. And again, he had the same thing you said, Gio, had his own place and car. And he did good. So not everybody does, man. I had people that I thought would never fall that did. Cousin that was always against drugs because his dad had a problem, and now he's a statistic in Kensington. So I've seen everything. Anything you can imagine, I've seen. I'm only 42, 3, something, but I've seen a freaking 2 lifetimes. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button for the GOAT. Become a member. It's easy. I think the join is right next to the subscribe button. And if you're on an iPhone, you might have to go through Safari.
My bad. I don't know what's going on with my connection.
You good, my brother?
You can hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Is there a delay?
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Got you.
Yeah, this was a good bill. Yeah, because I ain't know, like I said, man, I ain't know nothing at all about this right here. So, it's good to have you as, because I don't be knowing about a lot of these things. I just see it on the timeline. I say, let me see who know about this. Go live.
Yeah, I try to just stay in the know on a lot. You know me, that's how I always am. I got to know something. So it's like, if I see it, I try to, and that's why I said it was funny. I seen this and I was like, I wonder how long Till Bees goes on about it, in some way, because I know that I say you're dropping jewels. That's what it is. You'll take something out of it. It might not even be the main conversation. It might be something, from it. So once you went live, I was like, there it is. There he is.
I didn't even know what I was going to go live about, but I say, I got to do something.
Yeah, that's
this
what I was
was a
saying
good bill
earlier.
for real.
You said that earlier. You're like, I don't even know what I'm going to go on. I'm like, bro, you're a freestyle rapper. You don't need to have a topic. There's a few of us that we don't need. We could go in here with nothing and go for a few hours. So I always give you that credit. You're natural with this shit. So.
Right. I want to start doing content on one of my other pages, but I think I'm gonna do the members only here, and then I'm gonna just share. You know how you can do the double live.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I'm gonna start doing more lives over there, but I don't really do lives too much over there.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I know you got a couple different lanes here, and I think you do pretty good in all of them. So whatever you want to do with it, I always support.
Nah, I appreciate it. I always try to have different ideas and things.
Yep.
Change it up.
Yep. Definitely appreciate that. All right, my brother. Well, definitely great build. I appreciate you having me up here and for talking about this topic.
You already know. Anytime, my brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Salute, chat.
Salute, Kenzo. Salute to the chat. Salute to the members. Appreciate y'all. Salute to the supporters. Salute to the subscribers. Salute to everybody watching from behind the scenes. Salute to everybody who catch this on the replay. It's your host / DJ. Holla at your boy.